please welcome to the stage right now Managing Director of Culmen Capital, Mr. Paul Schultz. Paul, please come and join us. There we are. Together with Paul, we also have from Foodiz, Phil Jeudy. Phil, please come and join us. Take a seat. We also have CEO of Retail Robotics Solutions, Dimitri Rodin. Come and join us here, Dimitri, and our moderator who's going to shape this conversation forward, beautifully forward as well. Please welcome founder of Café Tech, Jérôme Marin.
Hello everyone, welcome to this panel. So we have 3 panelists today, and we will talk about the role of AI in transforming self-service dining, and we will discuss of the impact of the technology on the dining and catering sectors, and hopefully we will offer some insight into the future of food service in a world which is more and more automated. So first of all, I will ask you to introduce yourself very quickly. So who you are, what you're doing, what's your company. Maybe Paul, if you want to start.
Sure thing, and thank you, Jérôme. My name is Paul Schultz. I'm a managing director with Culmen Capital. We're focused on helping startups arrange funding for their pre-seed and seed rounds. I have 25 years of experience in finance with banks and financing startups as well. I'm a US national, but I've spent most of my career in Europe, in France, and in the emerging markets, which are excellent sources of AI technology and technology-based investments.
Paul, I think you need to put your mic a little higher.
How's that?
That's better, thank you.
Should I go again, or?
That's good. Go ahead, Phil.
Hello, Phil. I currently work at Foodiz. It's a company that is distributing sushi and cooked meals all over the country through different channels and brands. And I'm helping out the company at the moment with some innovation processes and some project that the company wants to move forward.
And go ahead, Dimitri. Oh, 1 minute.
I'm Dimitri Rodin, and I'm CEO of the company Retail Robotics Solutions. We provide turnkey solution for unattended checkout in self-service restaurants and corporate canteens. We have made the first steps on the American market, but we matured our business in Europe, and we are residents of Station F, that is an incubator for startups in Paris.
Thank you very much. So let's dive in with you, Dimitri. Maybe can you tell us a bit more about the solution you're working on at Retail Robotics, and more generally, how do you think AI can transform the self-service dining customer experience?
Yeah, it's a good example. What we have in hand is a terminal for unattended checkout, and due to AI solution, we can arrange a checkout of a customer of self-service restaurant within 3 seconds instead of 25-45 that it takes normally right now without AI. And of course, we can imagine how dramatically we are decreasing customer waiting time, and we rearrange allocation of staff. Those people who are working as cashiers right now, it's a very boring work. Their efforts will be applied to customer satisfaction scopes. They will not become unemployed, but they will work in much more creative scopes targeted on customer satisfaction. And at the same time, we get rid of this nowadays bottleneck that are queues in lunchtime. Everybody faced it all the days, and altogether, yearly, those who work in offices, they waste up to 2 working days every year simply standing in queues. So AI solution saves a lot of time and rearrange the whole business model of self-service dining.
AI is also AI. Maybe we use Dimitri again, but kiosk and AI assistant. How do you see customer experience change on this point?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Sorry. So when we speak about AI, we can also think about an AI assistant on, when you go to a restaurant and you have a self-serving kiosk. Do you see this to be helpful for customers too?
Well, there's a bunch of possibility because right now the customer experience is quite poor still. McDonald's was coming with a first kiosk and there was a big revolution. The good thing is that they were not, I would say, using this excuse to kind of try to be more efficient. But there's a lot of area which have not been investigated because right now you still have the menu, there's no personalization. There's a lot of possibility right now, but the restaurants are more focusing at the moment on something which is more takes time to. The customer, surprisingly, is not necessarily I would say the priority as far as I noticed in terms of the different solutions which are coming on the market, and I was scouting startup for a long time before that in the Bay Area, so that's my observation.
Staying with you, Phil, how do you think AI can transform catering and cafeteria food prepping?
Well, there's a lot of things that can be done because, as you know, this business, it's about the ratio, means what do you put on a plate and how much it costs to you and how much you want to sell it to the customer. So it's very complex job for a restaurant because they have to track the audience, they have to forecast how many customers are going to come, and at the same time they have to be profitable with prices increasing. So the dynamic pricing, about the personalization for customers, remembering the customer coming and thinking about what he would be interested to have on the menu. It's still not happening. It's still very hard to, I would say, to implement this type of solutions. For this panel, I was doing a sort of ideal plan for a restaurant who wants to really go through the features they're interested in and how to improve operations. And it sounds like to me like a dream because I think it's still not there because it requires a perfect management of the data inside of the company, and everything is too much in the hands of the POS, which is not the best tool, in my opinion, to forecast things. And that's so I think there's it's a long way still to see how we can really make the whole pack of innovations and make things much better.
And how about robotics in preparing the food? Do you see robotics emerging?
I remember seeing the first hamburger prepared in San Francisco. Probably it's going to be probably 10 years ago. And even recently, I'm still checking, some robot preparing French fries or these type of things. There's still a bunch of company trying to organize that, to set up this. Remember pizza, a guy wanted to have the full automated pizza system, collapsed like many others. It's very complicated because you have to manage the hardware and the software, and you have to make something which is, if you go to, I'm sorry, but 7-Eleven or McDonald's, it doesn't matter. You don't come for the gastronomy. But if you really want to have a sort of the quality and the sustainability and the beautiful of this word, robotics is more about efficiency. It's about not the quality. I mean, when you see a chef preparing a plate, it takes a lot of time, and the robot is just an efficient system. So they still try, but it's not really scaling at the moment, I think.
Paul, I'm wondering, as an investor, what are you the most excited about AI, robotics, and innovation around these fields?
Well, it's funny that you ask that because as an investor, I think we have two examples of right here of what we do and we don't look for. And I approach any AI investment or any tech investment because AI is the new extension of tech. by looking at, there are 4 simple rules to follow. You know, an AI solution must answer an existing need with a realistic solution. Hamburgers are perhaps not as realistic. It doesn't create new problems. Your hamburger is underdone or your fries are soggy. And it effectively replaces a current task which is boring, which people don't enjoy doing, with and frees up human time to enable people to do different things, much like the RRS cashier solution. So people are no longer just sitting there manually punching in numbers. They can go on and work in customer service or management of the space or the facility as a whole. Fourthly, as an investor, and I bet you're surprised I didn't lead with this, but it must produce an economic positive return, i.e. you must make more out of it than what you put into it. And it depends on the profile of each investor what they're going to look for in AI, but typically VCs look for a high multiple, whereas as the technology grows and develops, I think you're going to see that demand for return going down as it gets to be a normal market.
So there is a lot of talk today about the price of AI. It's pricey to develop, it's pricey to run. Are you worried that AI will be too expensive to get like the return on investment you're looking for?
I think that really depends on how you're going to value it, because I mean, if you look at the generational investment in an AI, you know, every investment is going to be measured on its individual merits and faults. And so as you evaluate every single investment, I'm not terribly worried, because there are those investments that will grow and succeed on their own naturally because they provide a superior product. But then there are those that can also get thrown off, may have a superior product, but events can overtake them, they can be leapfrogged. After AI, what are we going to have? AI plus virtual reality put together? But no, that's not something I'm worried about, to be sure.
Dimitri, what about you?
I'm pretty sure that artificial intelligence solutions right now in the same position like engine invention 100 years ago. And of course, it requires a lot of investments. But definitely it's the future of industry, and pretty sure that those VCs who are investing, some of them are already very successful in this scope, but definitely AI provides so many shortcuts in business processes that the economical efficiency is more or less obvious. Of course, from case to case, from startup to startup, it may differ. But like in our case, we provide up to 6,000 euro saving from the first month without any investment, and of course for one restaurant. And of course that is very attractive, and it's very obvious. It's very difficult to calculate return on investments because in our case we require no investments at all, and it's not an exception. It's just a business approach because we have good contacts with VCs, and it's not an exception. It's a wide practice.
Phil, you want to say something about it?
Yeah, I just want to share an experience because I used to work for a robotics company that is developing AI for stores. I don't want to go too much in detail, but a competitor of this company came in the market working with Walmart with a robot that was costing like probably $12,000 a month, went nowhere, and Walmart was using 500 robots for nothing, I would say. And the other company I used to work with just was thinking about how, of course, you have the first years you have to spend money on R&D because you have to develop the software and so on. But they came to the market with a solution that was much less expensive, and based on the financing and everything, the robot was kind of with a return on investment on the startup side after 1 year. So I mean, it depends also who you're talking to in terms of startup, because there's some guys they just they want to be an entrepreneur, they want to develop something. But when you have some guys who knows about technology and know where they're going, suddenly it can become very interesting with the demonstration of the return on investment, which is sometimes pretty difficult to demonstrate. But you have to come to that, because I think it's crucial to really have any kind of demonstration. There's some big companies who can help you to do that, and I think that's also crucial. But that's my experience.
So when you speak about AI, you speak about data. How do you think data can help change the dining experience? Can we have a more personalized dining experience? Because we know so much about the customer now. Phil, you want to?
Well, in a restaurant, I don't see, how do you come to a restaurant? Well, now you have some application that helps you to find the restaurant, or you can order online. I know a Ukrainian company that was doing that, based in New York now, and they are helping out, to come to the restaurant. So you have the seat, and you don't have to talk to anyone. You pay and you go. In that case, that means you have the data that can where you can memorize precisely the customer, and then you can think about creating a sort of loyalty program or whatever. In this case, yes, but it's quite rare. This type of application doesn't really exist at the moment. So the POS is like, it's just a number, a receipt, and it's hard to think about how you can, as a company, identify what the customer would like to have for next time. But I think it's quite crucial because, except if you go to, you want to go to a flunch, for example. I said, just by, well, you know what you're going to find, but maybe if you want to go to some, not the favorite restaurant, but you want to discover something, how are you going to do with all those restaurants that doesn't really have the system to have you coming and remembering you and so on. I think it's crucial, and I think we want to have why not a customized sushi would be nice. I'd like to have a sushi with a veggie salmon, for instance, or these type of things. I think it's possible, but it's not there yet because the company are not organized to have this type of data customer approach, which is hard because, AI is like you have this company to do that, this other company to do this, and as you all said, it's quite expensive somehow, so it's complicated. But I think it would be an amazing experience to go to the restaurant and to have a sort of personalization. I think it's the future still now.
Dimitri, what about menus? Do you think AI can help restaurants to change their menu and to adapt to what customer loves, what the trends are? Do you see like AI playing a role on this?
Yeah, I think that this question could be split in two parts. Changes of menu because of requests from customers, and AI is a very powerful instrument, very powerful tool to arrange all the metrics and statistics that we cannot imagine right now. That is definitely the future of dining. Right now, it's difficult, I suppose, to predict what it will be in a 5-year horizon, but definitely there is a very bright change in this scope that we can predict. And the other side, we could say back end. There are some requirements that will definitely appear from the side of kitchen and from the side of recognition, let's say, if we are speaking about solutions like what we provide to the market. Because waste management, appearance of dish, attractiveness of it, capability of staff on the kitchen to do their best and to use the labor in the most efficient way. That will also provide requirements of absolutely another kind, because right now dining experts do not consider this and definitely AI can provide these metrics, and these metrics under consideration can give us absolutely other conclusions that do not exist right now, but they are coming for sure.
I've got an idea. Thinking about computer vision, those guys, they are very good at computer vision. Let's think that we would change the rule that we can make pictures or we can recognize the customer when it comes because it's all digital. Well, it's not really allowed. We're not in China, but let's think that if it would be possible, then you can personalize. When you bring more technology and you don't have, because now here in Europe, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, well, you don't have André Breton, but I think the next one is worst. There's always a limitation, but the technology somehow, if there wouldn't be so much pressure to not to identify the customer, which is not a problem in China, a problem in Europe, you could personalize. It would be very interesting to see how, because I think computer vision is an amazing thing. There's still a lot of progress to make, but you can really do something like with this system. You could, I know what you bought. I know it's you. See you next time.
So the last panel was talking about AI, about integration of AI. It's one of the challenges of AI today is to integrate AI to your systems. Do you think it's a problem for restaurants, for self-dining restaurants, self-service dining restaurants, for catering companies? What's the main challenges they will face to add AIs or robotics to their systems?
Okay. Well, speaking more on the aspect about advancements in AI, which I think it's easy to look at and say, well, it's going to change the experience overall. But I come from a technical financial background, so I look at the business unit as a whole and how it works. And I think that what's going to go in the future is basically a lot of things behind the scenes as well, which you aren't going to notice as a customer, but it's going to streamline the management of the business for the people who run it, for the people who own it. You're going to have things like seamless supply chain management run by AI. So all the right products are there at all the right times. The food providers have been contacted and the deliveries have been made. Waste management coming out of the kitchen as well. So the operation is going to become far more seamless. Financial management of after the cashier, the robot cashier is done at the end of the day, you can do full financial statements for the unit and as well look at the forecasting of where it's going to go over the next week, over the next month. You can, and that's all updated in real time. You're still going to need people to look at this and say, does this make sense logically based upon the other factors that we know of what's going on? But I think you're going to see a real change in the return on restaurant businesses overall as a result.
Phil, you want to say something about it?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget that those companies, they come out of this COVID, it kind of gave some issues. So right now the priority for restaurants is really to come to a more, comfortable revenue to be able to invest. And it's quite still complicated because they still, I remember I was programming COBOL in the early 80s, and I remember being a project manager on an AS400, which is still existing. And some companies are still having those old systems. So the integration, which was your question, I hope, it's still complicated because, again, the same problem with data. How you integrate with a system that is the POS. Everything is always about the POS, and there's a bunch of POS solution coming. But I think it's hard to. I don't see actually how you can really make some integration by just having this final system. I think the ERP or the software used by the restaurant are not so easy to integrate, and it's still hard. It's real situation, real life. It's still hard to put some sense, in a system to be able to integrate something with API or this type of things. I'm not sure we're still there.
To run up our panel, I will want to ask you last questions. So to each of you. What advancements in AI do you think will have the most impact of dining, or what investment you're the most excited about? Dimitri, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that there will be absolutely another economical model of doing business. So the business model of dining is changing right now, and how this business will look like in several years, we cannot imagine. But the dining, self-service restaurants are becoming much more profitable. It's becoming much more profitable business than it is right now in the moment.
But less human at the same time, no? Less humans at the same time.
It's not less. It's rearrangement of force. So those people are who are substituting, let's say, from simple work, from cashiers, from other simple work, they are still keeping in the loop of doing business of this particular restaurant, but on more focused on customer service and improving customer experience.
What about you, Paul?
Well, sort of picking up on things that we've been saying today, I think we've all been looking at different aspects of the customer experience and the return on investment from a restaurant. So that you look at that as a whole value chain, like the customer being recognized when they arrive, paying quickly when they leave, and how the whole machine works behind there. But I think that it's going to really be in part a combination of humans and AI. So the AI can say where you get the best margin from which products, who likes what the most, and how to improve the experience, and is going to go through it and make suggestions. But then at the end of the day, I think the humans are going to have to look at it and say, well, okay, but does this add to the customer's utility? Does it make something which AI can't measure? Does it make people more happy? So, and you have to do both of those things in place to have a successful business and to create a successful investment. So I think that's where we're going to arrive, is using AI to fine-tune the whole machine.
And Phil?
Yeah, I was thinking about the question, and I like in a conversation to bring a movie kind of reference. And I remember this moment in Blade Runner where this guy is having sushi with this. No, it's a soup. So I want to talk about sushi all the time. I don't know why. So the guy is bringing soup, on this kind of flying boats. I think. Let's do some science fiction. I think hopefully a more efficient restaurant with the same amount of people. I've seen some robots, serving. It's kind of funny, but it's not scaling at that moment. And okay, it's not very interesting to come back with a plate and stuff, But I hope to see as much people as we have at the moment to welcome you, like in a Japanese restaurant. When you come, you remove the shoes, having this kind of experience and having some kind of the best immersion into the place where you're going, depending on which type of food it is. So I think that the technology can help a lot by taking the terrible tasks from people, in order to have them more, I would say, being helping out, doing the service. But I think it's hard to say at the moment because, I don't think the experience has really changed since the AI came up years ago, and I still think I'm going to the restaurant like I used to go 20 years ago. So I think the immersion might be something quite interesting. But I'm thinking when you ask this question about the customer, I think the customer does just want a simple thing, quick, nice, and so I'm kind of dry now.
Okay, thank you very much. That's concluded our panel. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Dimitri. Thank you to all of us, and have a great day at SIAL.